There is a timeless secret I learned from Genesis on how to build things that last or even outlive us. It's taken from the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 18, and it said, "The Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him." God kept on using the word good to checkmate the things he was building. That means if something is not good, he doesn't stop building it until it gets to that keyword good. So the way he checkmated his growth was based on what he had in his mind eye. God does not build anything first without having not imagined it. So he had already planned everything in his mind. He knew how everything would look at. Then he started to build. You cannot say something is good without having a prototype in your mind that validates what you are talking about. You see? And God was using the word good, not good, to checkmate whether he has completed his work. In the case of Adam, he said it is not good for the man to be alone. This is indicative that the man project was not yet complete. How you will know is that God does not build anything that does not have continuity. If God built only Adam, made Adam from the clay and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend to the garden, and that was all he did, Adam would have probably lived the rest of his life alone. But that was not God's plan. God wanted to populate the earth. So Adam did not have continuity. God does not create anything without continuity. That's why God did not create 1 million cows on the first day. That's why God did not create 1 million Adam and Eves on the first day. He just created a prototype. Man, woman, male, female goat, male cow, female cow. And that was how they started to propagate the earth. You see. So if you are intending to grow something that is going to last and outlast you, you must ask yourself, does it have continuity? Does it have what it takes to live and replicate itself without having to be touched? What I'm saying is it a systematized structure? Because everything God built was made as a system that could sustain itself. No man waits for God to come and feed him. Man knows the cycle that he needs to go through to keep himself alive. You see, no plant waits for God to come and feed it. They know what they need to do to spread their leaves out for the sun to touch and for them to start the photosynthesis process. For God to truly have rested on the seventh day, it means he used 6 days to build a bunch of systems all over the galaxy, all over the world. All he created were systems and subsystems that rely on each other and work in synchronity, no mistakes. As in that time till date, there has been no error. The earth is still going around the sun. In accuracy, there has been no mistake. You see? So God only could rest on the seventh day because systems were already at work. Animals become hungry, they eat grass. Very systemic. Man is hungry, there is fruit from trees. Every tree, God made it in specificity that they must have seeds of themselves in the fruit, so that when the fruit falls down, they will start the process again. Everything was systematized from the beginning. So if your business, if your passion, if your purpose, whatever you have come to this earth to do must outlive you, you must build it in such a way that it functions without you. Systems are the way to go. You must build it the way God builds. God has not come down since he built anything to say, the way the cows are ovulating, I think it's too long, let's shorten it. It has never happened. Human beings still give birth at the 9th month. Everything is structured and followed to the latter. That when it's not even followed, it is called premature. A child at 7 months is called premature. That's a premature birth. You came out before the time. The structured time is 9 months. You see? So you must learn to set systems that work outside of you. There are people out there, business people, that have a weird romance with proprietorship. They do not want to let go of control. God in heaven, I'm speaking to you, let go of control of the earth. He allowed the earth to function without having to step in every 5 seconds to correct something. Why can't you allow your business to function without you? They will not be able to do it the way I do it. God did not think that way. God never thought that one day the elephant will begin to malfunction, so I will step in to adjust some things, because I don't think the elephant has the necessary ability to control some of the things I want it to control yet. Maybe he does not know how to throw his manure at the strategic places to allow the grass grow. No, he did everything according to how he planned it in his head, and they are still working today. So you must learn to let go of control. Speaking to business people, and speaking to those that have passion in their head, do not do the mistake of Moses. Moses was handling it almost thousands of cases every day because he thought he was the only one that was meant to do so, not knowing he was wearing himself out. You must learn to let go of control by setting systems that allow you to breathe. If you cannot learn to rest the way God did, it means you are walking out of sync. You should be walking like the Godhead, because you are his true son. You are his true daughter. So you must build like he does, because you are made in his image. You should pattern your life and your business the way he did this. The earth is his business, and is working very well for him. Seed time and harvest come when he has planted that they will come. Till today, they are still obeying that order. No malfunction anywhere. So you must see the systematization of God's wisdom. You must see the way he thinks and how he systematizes things, and put it into your own field, into your prayer life, into your business, into that career, and begin to do it so that you will have time to rest. This resting time will give you time to think. That is when you can think outside of your business. You must let go of control, because the sole proprietorship mentality is killing your business. Because the sole proprietorship business model and mindset we have on the earth, because of the need to control things, and we don't trust anybody can do it like we do, that thing is wearing us out. We need to let it go. So learn wisdom from how God creates things. God does not build anything if it does not have continuity. He never does it. Before God puts Saul, the first king of Israel, on the throne, he already made plans for Jesus. And that king in Jesus will live forever. Jesus is the king that is living and still living forevermore. Before Saul climbed that throne as king and left it for David, God already made that Jesus will become a king, and his reign shall be forever. So that is how God builds things. He does not build things without a future. If the thing cannot be replicative of itself, it does not have a future. You need to learn that. If you do not learn that, you keep struggling. That is why men and women out there that are doing businesses hardly have time to rest, because they don't seem to know the management wisdom that comes from letting go of control and allowing people to be trained into those fields they handle. So it is time to go back and really audit your business, check your life, and see things that cannot be automated and do it. Because if those things keep hammering on you and you are the one always having to come back to micromanage them, you will not have time to rest. And rest is important, because you need to think. You need to think. And one thing you have to learn from how God creates things is that everything obeys the law he has set. It means anything you create on the earth that is not a system will suffer, because the earth is a system and it punishes things that are not systemic. If what you are doing does not follow seed time and harvest the way the earth works, you will be punished. You will be punished. That stuff will be punished. So you must learn how to create systems around your life and around your business, and learn how to allow people take control from you so that you can rest. That is how God did it. When you do that, you are able to govern properly. A king is not and should not be found in the marketplace trying to check whether people are compliant. Leave that for the soldiers. Learn how to run your life as a business. Learn how to run it the way God runs the earth. The earth is a systematized structure. Everything that's happening inside of this earth is systematized, and God made it so that he can rest. So you learn to rest by following a systematized approach to your life and business.